And I think making it easy is a very good bridge to the next presentation. I have to admit I wasn't an active user of public transportation because I found it difficult, and specifically in Finland, switching buses, you never did know where to switch buses, then I would miss buses, I would miss the station. And I think for me, Whim was basically the turning point. So and that's why I'm so happy about today, because all the topics we talk about are topics that I use on a day-to-day basis. Whim is one of the apps that I started using on a day-to-day basis because it's easy, it's convenient. Basically buys my ticket when I get into the station. I don't even need to take care of that anymore. So I fully agree with Anna. I think it's really about making it easy, making it convenient for people to come on board with circular economy. And with that introduction, I'm happy to hand over to the next presentation to hear about mobility as a service and how that works.
So indeed easy, consumer-focused, working like magic, some keywords there. My name is Pyyhtiä. I'm the co-founder of Whim, which is an application as it happens, but it's more than that. We are the world's first mobility as a service operator, actually. And if you read Helsingin Sanomat, we had a front page ad again today. So you have to not only make it easy to the consumers, but make them aware of your services to make the change into circular economy. What is mobility as a service? Valid question. Simplify things again. The idea is that any and every mode of transportation should be made available to you by a simple, easy to use solution, in this case the application. So no matter if you need a bike or a car or a space rocket, human drone, all that should be made available to you by a simple to use interface inside a monthly subscription service. And the idea, the link to our team today is we don't own these assets. You as a consumer don't have to own the assets, but rather we are creating an ecosystem of services being brought together by us. So we partner with transportation service providers in Helsinki and anywhere we go to make sure that these services that they offer are provided to the consumer in an easy format. And then you get more utilization out of these services. So transportation has a long history. All the companies used to work in silos. Car companies sold you cars, train companies put you in trains. We are there to, one could say, disrupt it, or better yet, maybe transform it into something more positive. So in a way, Netflix or Spotify of transportation is what we do. And how do you consume these services? As I mentioned, it's an application in today's format that has it all. So it has your transportation planning, journeys, schedules, routes, but what's important, it also has all of the tickets and all the payments. So you really don't need another application or cash or credit card or have to worry about whether your HSL card is with you. Don't worry about it. We will take you door to door on all of your journeys. And you don't need a car, you don't need a bike, you just need Whim. So that's how easy it needs to be if you want consumers to use your service. And still you do have to buy ads in the Helsingin Sanomat to make it happen. But due to the concept and the consumer focus, we've been recognized. So the awards are important in that sense that they communicate about the fact that you have to pay focus and attention and put a lot of efforts into making it as easy as it is today. Otherwise, we are lazy people. Something doesn't work, we throw it away or we stop using it. So that's the threat really. So you have to focus on the usability and user experience quite a lot. And this is how the Whim application works.
The Whim app makes going places easier than ever. A monthly fee covers all your journeys with everything from buses, trains, taxis, rented cars, bikes, and more. Whim takes away the hassle of traveling. It has it all: planning, routing, and create a monthly plan to match your needs, or just pay as you go. So how do you travel with Whim? It's simple. Enter your destination, and Whim combines the best transport options to take you door to door. It tells you when it's time to go, and shows your moves on the map. Whim is as spontaneous as you are. On sunny days, you can jump on a city bike for a short trip. And when you need a car, Whim helps you get behind the wheel and on the road, whether it's for a few days or a few hours. Fancy a film at the last minute? Grab a cab on a Whim. All you need to do is press one button. Follow your approaching taxi on the map, and when it arrives, just hop in and enjoy the ride. Since its launch in 2017, Whim has already helped users travel smarter on over 1.5 million trips. Soon, you'll even be able to use Whim for journeys between different cities and different countries. Whim is already live in Helsinki, Birmingham, and Antwerp, with many more locations to follow soon. Are you ready to go on a Whim?
So that's the consumer-facing side. But to talk about the business, I like that Anna mentioned 4%, so that is very important to us. Do any of you own a car still? Oh dear. In a circular economy event. Well, I can tell you, you are wasting around 600 euros a month for the sheer pleasure of owning your car. That's not including the driving costs. And this is the revealing picture. Out of the mobility spend, 76% of that money that you are spending on mobility goes to that car ownership. Only 24% goes to the other services, including flights. So if you are looking at it from an economic perspective, this is probably the most underutilized asset in human history, and that we pay way too much. This is what we want to change. Basically, if we can tell you that we can provide as good or better service than owning a car, so we will get you door to door. You don't have to own a car. If you need access to a car, we'll give you a car, but you don't have to own it. Switch you over to services. You can see what happens. So basically this 24% becomes to 100%. So all of our partners, whether they are taxi companies, car rental companies, public transportation companies, see an increase in utilization, revenue, customer flows. Actually, they get a lot of new customers from new segments, you know, the people that used to drive their cars. And that's how the business model works. But we are not simply a ticket vending machine. So we don't just ask you to purchase a ticket when you need it. Rather, our focus, the vision is few steps ahead at least. We will focus on creating experiences and service levels. So rather than you wondering when you need to buy a ticket or order a taxi, we will start advising you or enticing you or luring you into other modes of transportation, and then giving you service level guarantees. So we have drafted a lot of these, but a business executive package that contains flights to Stockholm and back every week with a guaranteed pickup time could be made available. Or the environmental package where only sustainable modes are available, or the student package, or the family package. So it's not about selling you something, a commodity that exists, but really creating value for consumers in the form of these value-added guaranteed services. So that's the business model, but it's going to take a few years for us to do that. First we have to do basic travel right. But due to the power of platforms and economy, we don't face some of the problems, for example, Uber does. When Uber launches in a new market, like in Finland, their biggest problem today is finding drivers. That's actually what they are struggling with. The law passed and now they are legally, you know, they can operate here legally, but they can't find drivers. We don't have any of the problems in a way, because we use the existing assets, existing infrastructure, and we partner up. So we do have to be the best possible partner for all these transportation service providers, but because of virtue of that and working with global partners, as we do, we will be able to scale internationally very fast. To the consumer, this experience means that when I pick up my Whim, I can fly even today to London and continue to use it. Same experience, hassle-free. I don't have to think about payments, and I can order a taxi in London and soon in hundreds of cities. Does it work? What's our story so far? Actually, I think today we will pass 4 million trips. So we have a counter in our office that's ticking everything. I don't know if it really happened. I have to call soon, but 4 million trips, over 120,000 downloads, 80,000 unique registrations, a lot of city bike trips. We are talking with over 40 cities currently, with over 250 transportation service providers. So it's not easy. We actually do have to make contracts and integrations with these providers, but working with global ones, we can scale up fast. Currently live in 3 cities, as mentioned, and launching hopefully 10 to 12 this year. Global coverage, that means 100 countries, 150 cities, 5 years' time. So scale up story for you. I want to share some insights on how this affects cities when a mobility as a service is introduced. Roughly 1 week ago, we released a study together with Rumble, where they looked at how people travel with Whim in Helsinki and how they regularly travel. So this is sort of a testament to circular economy, sustainability, and the positive change Whim will create. First of all, I mentioned the 4 million trips. We have around 13,000 active monthly users. That's including our subscription pay-as-you-go users. That's out of the 80,000, so we will improve on that soon. What was surprising, you could think that this is for somebody living in Punavuori and just riding their bikes. We were very surprised by the age spread of our customers. So the blue is Finnish population spread, and the yellow is Whim users. So even 66 plus people are using Whim. And that was a really positive surprise. We didn't obviously target them. They just, actually have called us and told us, I sold my car to become a Whim customer. So it's really happening. Public transportation is the backbone of any mobility as a service system. Whim users use 2.5 trips per day on public transportation compared to Helsinki residents, which is 1.6. So that's a great achievement. So public transportation usually thinks we take away their customers. We bring them more riders and rides. And this is also very interesting. Remember I said transportation used to be in silos. Whim users are multimodal users. So they actually start or end their rides on city bikes or taxis, and in between commute with public transportation. And this is the positive change, because you used to just drive your car or then take another mode. Whim users are multimodal, which is the only way this transportation system will change. The CO2, just the virtue of bikes, which our riders last summer took 5 times over the globe, we saved 20 tons of CO2. And we've counted and estimated that around 38% of micromobility or last mile, first mile economical modes replace 38% of the car trips daily. So you've seen the Tier and Voice scooters on the streets of Helsinki maybe. Soon they'll be on Whim as well. So we want to add everything. And finally, so taxis are not for rich people and politicians only. Whim users use taxis to get to public transportation. So it's okay in Finland, against what we used to think, to use taxis. So they do use more of the taxis, and that's a substitute for car usage. But also people do need a car, but we've saved maybe 17 years of car drivership in a way, if you want to look at it that way. That's how much people have rented a car. And obviously they don't own a car anymore, but instead, whenever they need a car, they would take it from Whim as well. In a very short time, I could talk hours about this. That was Whim for you. I'm happy to take any questions.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's take the questions in the end, and let's come back to